The cast of The Crowded Room faced a lot of challenges while filming the show, and the actors agree that it was one of the hardest work experiences for them. What kind of meltdown did Tom Holland have in the middle of filming?
The show did break me.
What helped Emmy Rossum unwind after a day of shooting? And how did Amanda Seyfried compare The Crowded Room to Mamma Mia?
It was tricky.
The new Apple TV Plus series is inspired by a true story and based on the novel The Minds of Billy Milligan. It talks about a young man who has multiple personalities living inside his head, so he's definitely a pretty complicated character to portray. And Tom Holland can certainly confirm that. But in the beginning, he didn't expect it to be so hard, and he actually wanted to take on a challenging role.
I just really was terrified by the idea of playing this character, and for me, that's a really good thing.
Tom loves putting himself in uncomfortable situations and participating in projects that push him. The Crowded Room offered him all of that, and more. Before he began filming, Tom had to do some research. First of all, the actor read the book The Minds of Billy Milligan, and he discussed it chapter by chapter with the show creator Akiva Goldsman. Then he worked closely with the writers, asking them all kinds of questions about his character.
That the research kind of went hand in hand with just the, development of the show.
It seemed like Tom had everything under control until he arrived at the set. The actor is used to the physical aspect of acting, especially after playing Spider-Man. But what took the most toll on him this time was the mental side.
We were exploring certain emotions that I have definitely never experienced before.
And he needed much more time to recover afterwards.
I'm normally very good at leaving my work at work and being myself at home, but this is the first time in life where it's kind of bled into one.
Tom had trouble detaching himself from the role. Coming home from the set, he kept seeing Danny everywhere. Because of his crazy haircut, he even saw his character when he looked in the mirror. At one point, Tom had a meltdown at home, fighting the urge to cut his hair. "I'm going to shave my head. I need to shave my head because I need to get rid of this character," the actor thought. The only reason why Holland didn't do it is because he was still mid-shooting. Being a producer on the show added even more pressure because of all the decisions he had to make.
I mean, the show really broke me. It was the hardest thing I've ever done.
So when the filming was over, Tom needed to quickly do something to start recovering, and he escaped to Mexico for a while. Other things that helped him were playing golf and watching movies. Thankfully, Holland also received a great deal of support from his castmates when they were still in production.
And I felt really good about being vulnerable in a space that felt very safe.
For example, Sasha Lane, who plays Danny's friend and roommate Ariana, was always there for him. Whenever Tom felt insecure about his character's actions or motivations, she'd talk to him about it. She would take me aside and was really open and willing to share some of her experiences that were so helpful in the moment, the actor shared. Yet even with all this support, Tom still felt devastated. So he came up with the best decision for himself and for his sanity.
And I'm now taking a year off, and that is a result of how difficult this show was.
It's not the first time Tom has struggled with his mental health. In September last year, he took a break from social media because he found it overstimulating.
I get caught up and I spiral when I read things about me online, and ultimately it's very detrimental to my mental state. So I decided to take a step back and delete the app.
Soon enough, Tom came back to Instagram to promote his new series. And now, he's thrilled to see how the audience will react to The Crowded Room.
I don't think I've ever been so excited to get something out there. I hope the fans are somewhat shocked by my portrayal of this character. It's definitely a huge departure from who I am as a person.
Despite how hard it was on him, Tom is very proud of his new project and knows that his hard work wasn't in vain. Filming the series made him realize that he was even more capable as an actor than he'd thought before. Most importantly, Tom expects the show to help viewers have more sympathy for those struggling with mental health. Emmy Rossum, who plays his mother, also has high hopes about The Crowded Room. Being a mom in real life, she could relate to her character, Candy Sullivan.
Even if we try our best, we could massively fail our children. I thought it brought up a lot for me.
But of course, it wasn't easy for Emmy to play her. As the actress revealed, there was a lot of complexity to her character. The most challenging part for her was to reveal the relationship between Candy and Danny.
The ways in which these characters as mother and son are able to survive the The idea that they're both living in these deep states of denial.
At the very beginning of production, Emmy worried about getting everything right. After all, she wanted the viewers to understand her character's actions and motivations.
I had a lot of anxiety while shooting this show, leading up to some of the more challenging scenes.
So she tried to prepare as much as she could. Emmy talked with a social worker and a psychologist, and she also connected with a woman who had had a similar life experience. The actress tried her best to bring empathy to the role and do her character justice, but it was still very demanding. And as she finished filming her scenes, she was so relieved that the experience was over. But every time Emmy felt drained, Tom was the one to come up to her and offer support. Here's what he did after they filmed a particularly challenging sequence together.
He just kind of came over and gave me a hug, and we just stood quietly there hugging for a while.
It was special for the actress to see that they were teammates, and it was that kind of attitude that helped her shake it off at the end of the day. Unlike Tom, Emmy was able to leave her character on the set, and she had her own recovery routine at home.
Put my kids to sleep, make dinner, and watch my, cooking reality competition show.
But even more importantly, the series showed Emmy a new side of her own identity, and getting to know it meant a lot to her.
There is kind of a catharsis in getting to explore parts of yourself that are scary through the safe parameters of a story where you know how it starts and you know how it ends.
And here's another woman in the series who also did her best to play her part. Amanda Seyfried portrays Rya Goodwin, the interrogator who's trying to help Danny. The role suited the actress perfectly, and not only because she likes to ask a lot of questions in real life too. She was immediately drawn to Rya, since Amanda is also a working mom. I'm a professional and a mother struggling to balance her life because it felt really real, the actress commented. Although she could relate to Rya, at first Seyfried felt insecure about playing her, because the role seemed more challenging than anything else she'd handled before. Amanda even compared it to shooting Mamma Mia, where she had to sing and dance all day long, which was exhausting physically. But in the crowded room, she realized that emotional exhaustion is worse. What's more, since the show had so many twists and turns, Amanda sometimes lost her way.
I needed a lot of help with keeping me on track of where I am.
The interrogation scenes between Rya and Danny were especially challenging. Of course, they were emotional, yet that wasn't the only reason. Before coming to the set, Amanda and Tom had to learn dozens and dozens of pages of dialogue.
At some point it felt like theater because we were just doing so many pages a day, and we were in that room every day working on this relationship.
However, the actress managed to enjoy the process.
At the end of the day, it's between these two characters, and it's really what acting's all about, is forming some kind of tension and chemistry.
Just like for Emmy, Tom became a huge source of support for her. The way he nurtured their connection helped Amanda deliver more. I feel like we feed off of each other. It's a give and take the whole time, the actress said. And there was someone else who was there for her on the set. Amanda's husband of 6 years, Thomas Sadowski, also stars in the show as Matty Dunn.
Felt like it's always nice to check in with him and see if he thinks I'm doing a good job.
Looks like the crowded room cast managed to become a solid team. The challenges they faced certainly made them stronger, and the result on the screen is magnificent. What do you think about new series? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about your favorite TV shows, check out our other videos.